You're watching Redtv. If you'd like any information on programmes, please phone 01223 722 777.
Last month, the government unveiled its Action on Age programme, a voluntary code aimed at convincing employers that age discrimination makes bad business sense. But while the traditional victim is a 50-year-old executive, could there be a new ageism afoot, which kicks in as early as 26? The Red Report went to investigate and spoke to Celine Pinter, who's branch manager at Office Angels, one of Cambridge's biggest and newest recruitment agencies.
Well, we're approached by a variety of different applicants from all ranges of administration and technical skilled people. They can be from 16, 17-year-olds looking for their first position to people who are mature age, up to 60, 65 years of age, who are looking to do part-time work.
But you are obviously in day-to-day quite close contact with employers in and around Cambridge. What would you say that employers are looking for?
They're looking for experience, they're looking for flexibility, and they're looking for reliability, and that's very important in Cambridge in this market. We obviously have a pull on our candidates from London, and it's a very competitive market, and very good applicants are difficult to come by.
Isn't there the image that still must exist, that the younger worker is keener, able to work weekends, doesn't have family commitments, whereas, you know, getting even towards 30, you're beginning to slow down, maybe you're having children, maybe work isn't anymore the priority?
That's right, and that is the perception about younger workers. However, having a younger worker working with a more experienced person, if they came across a problem, the experienced person who's older would have come across those and be able to give a different quality to their work.
Some industries in particular have been targeted, saying that they're really exhibiting a super ageism, if you like, you know, really looking to employ the 20-year-olds, and I'm talking young 20-year-olds rather than those approaching their early 30s. Have you seen this in the marketplace, this super ageism as it's called?
Yes, that's a lot of the companies that we're dealing with have a perception that they can get good candidates who are younger. However, we feel it an important role to educate our clients and act as consultants and inform them that good older candidates are definitely going to bring benefits to their workforce.
And what about the demographic position that we are in as a country as a whole? I mean, more and more people are living longer. Does that mean more older people are going to have to stay in the workplace?
Companies are going to have to face up to the facts that there are not the younger qualified candidates available anymore, and they're going to have to widen their opinions about older people. They are easily trained. We have excellent testing and training system here where we can cross-train good candidates, and we have found them to be equal and often above the younger workers in the workforce, and we really try and push that with our companies that we're dealing with.
So really it comes down to educating the employers?
Absolutely.
I'm Francesca Brosan. I'm Managing Director of Warman and Bannister, which is an advertising and PR agency based here in Cambridge.
Now, advertising in PR is one section where there has allegedly emerged a super ageism, if you like. We're not talking about discrimination of those 50 plus. We're talking about people maybe as young as in their late 20s. Have you noticed this at all in the workplace?
From our point of view, no, that's not an issue at all. I mean, I did a quick analysis of our staff, and in fact, nearly 2/3 of the people are over the 26 barrier that is meant to exist. I can imagine it's slightly different in London, where there are very steady flood of people coming through, graduate intakes coming through. But certainly, I think once you get out of London, there are other things that are important to employers apart from just age.
What then would you cite as being the main things that you might be looking for in someone that was to join the team?
Well, I think mostly what's important for us, apart from obviously, talent, is that they're going to be a good fit with the agency team that we've already got in place, and also that they've got the right experience. And what we find tends to happen is that people move move out into Cambridge perhaps from London. So they tend to be a bit older anyway, and they've sometimes got other things in their lives like children, or they've just, quite frankly, they're fed up with the city. So they've got a bit of age on them, if you like, but they've also got the experience which they can bring into the agency, and that's fantastically valuable for a company like us.
What about the other old chestnut, though, when it comes to recruitment? A woman in her late 20s, early 30s, if she was to come to you, do you automatically think, oh, she's going to be running off to have babies soon?
Well, the problem legally, you can't make any of those such judgments. In fact, we don't find it a problem. A lot of the people that we hire here do have children already, and many of them work 4 days a week or 3 days a week. We try and be very flexible. I would rather have people who are really good than have people who are not very good just because they don't have children. Yes, of course, it's always in your mind, particularly if you've hired somebody who's been just married and you're thinking, oh, are they going to have children? But again, I would rather have good people than I would, whether they've got children or not, whether or not they need to go off for maternity leave, than I would hire bad.
Do you think the government initiative brought in last month to try and reduce ageism in the workplace, now they were obviously thinking of the 50+, do you think that move was a necessary one?
From my point of view, it seems a bit excessive, but yes, on the whole, I think that there's a tremendous lack of valuing older people, and they've got so much experience. I mean, young people are great in the sense they have energy and vibrancy, but a lot of them just don't know enough to be really useful. They have very often no commercial sense, full of ideas, but not necessarily of any practical use. And I find that the older people get, the more commercially aware they are, the more sensible they are, and if you find the right people, they're just as good fun to work with. They're still full of ideas and really keen to do the business. But yeah, I do find it a little bit excessive that you have to legislate for these things these days, as opposed to just allowing business to find its own level of the right type of person for the right type of job.
So you won't be changing anything to do with your recruitment policy here at Warman and Bannister?
No, I don't think that sort of legislation would make any difference to us. Presumably they would bring in something where they would stipulate the number of people you have to hire over a certain age. We have a couple of people who are over 50 here, working here anyway, and maybe that would make us legally, doing the appropriate thing, but I can't see it making an immediate difference to us in any way, no.
You're watching Redtv. If you'd like any information on any of our programmes, please call 01223 722 777.